How's it going, everyone? Austin Honecker here. I just wanted to come on here for a while and give him a review for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite from last night, which was April 20th, 2022. I gotta say, it was awesome from start to finish. For the matches, match 1, it was CM Punk versus Dustin Rhodes. That was a great match, but the ending to it, CM Punk went over with a roll-up. Well, after the match, CM Punk and Dustin Rhodes showed mutual respect towards each other by shaking each other's hand and hugging each other, and Dustin Rhodes raising CM Punk's arm in victory. And after that happened, Dustin Rhodes got out of the ring, and Dustin Rhodes was still in the ring. CM Punk got out of the ring and went on the stage, and Hangman Page came out, and CM Punk and Hangman Page had a stare down. Then CM Punk went backstage, and Hangman Page just stood on the stage looking on and everything. That was cool. That was match 1, by the way. Match 2, it was the Blackpool Combat Club, which are Bryan Danielson, Jon Moxley, and Wheeler Yuta versus Dante Martin, Brock Anderson, and Lee Moriarty. That was a great match, but the ending to it, the Blackpool Combat Club went over cause Jon Moxley pinned Dante Martin with the paradigm shift. That was match 2, by the way. Match 3, it was Wardlow versus The Butcher. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Wardlow went over with the Powerbomb Symphony. Now, before the match, as The Butcher came out to the ring for the match, MJF and Shawn Spears were up in the rafters, and MJF cut a promo talking about how Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania was a shitty town, and how the Pittsburgh Steelers suck, and talked about how Wardlow was a pig, and he not only was gonna come out in handcuffs and be handcuffed all over the arena with security, but he's not gonna have no entrance music because, like Ben Roethlisberger, Wardlow is a nobody that you people continue to cheer for as well, and everything. And then Wardlow came out for the match and everything as well. That was cool. That was before the match, by the way. And after the match, Wardlow signaled for the security guards to come over to him, and the security guards handcuffed Wardlow and took him backstage and everything. That was cool. That was after the match, by the way. That was match 3, by the way. Match 4, it was Kyle O'Reilly versus Jungle Boy in an Owen Hart Memorial Cup Tournament qualifying match in the men's division. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Kyle O'Reilly went over and advanced in the Owen Hart Memorial Cup Tournament qualifying match in the men's division with the diving knee drop. Now, after the match, as Kyle O'Reilly was celebrating his victory, Jungle Boy rolled out of the ring, and Christian Cage came out, and Jungle Boy apologized to Christian Cage. Well, Christian Cage hugged Jungle Boy and helped him backstage and everything. That was cool. That was after the match, by the way, and that was match 4, by the way. Match 5, it was Hook versus Anthony Henry. That was a squash match, but the ending to it, Hook went over with the red rum. Well, after the match, Danhausen, after the match, as Hook was celebrating his victory, Danhausen came into the ring with a microphone and said, "What the hell is this? You, Hook, are not going to listen to Danhausen? Well, and if you're not going to take the curse, then how about you fight Danhausen right now?" Well, as Danhausen said what he said, Hook ended up standing his ground to Danhausen, and Danhausen realized he made a mistake, and then Hook walked out of the ring and went backstage, and Danhausen was looking on in the ring and everything. That was cool. That was match 5, by the way. Match 6, it was Britt Baker versus Danielle Camilla in an Owen Hart Memorial Cup Tournament qualifying match in the women's division. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Britt Baker went over with the lockjaw. Well, wait a minute. Match 6, it was Britt Baker versus Danielle Camilla in an Owen Hart Memorial Cup Tournament qualifying match in the women's division. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Britt Baker went over and advanced in the Owen Hart Memorial Cup Tournament qualifying match in the women's division with the lockjaw. Well, after the match, as 2 football players from the Pittsburgh Steelers were in the ring with Britt Baker, Britt Baker got a microphone and cut a promo talking about how she's been gone for a couple weeks, and the couple weeks she's been gone, the AEW women's division has been a shithole without her, and was talking about the Owen Hart Memorial Cup Tournament for the women's division, and was talking about how she's the only relevant one because Ruby Soho, the runaway, is nothing but a orange-haired rascal, an orange-haired little rascal, and Toni Storm, and said Toni Storm is going to end up getting her ass kicked by Jamie Hayter, and and said, "Toni Storm, you thought having cake in your face was bad? Well, after Jamie Hayter is done with you, you're gonna want to leave. Then you're gonna leave again." And then Britt Baker continued to talk more shit and everything. Well, and then Britt Baker was talking shit about Jade Cargill, saying that Jade Cargill called Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania ugly and everything. Then talked about how Red Velvet is now a baddie for Jade Cargill, and how she kicked Red Velvet's ass in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania last year and everything. And then Britt Baker was talking about how she could whoop Jade Cargill's ass, and talked about how she was going to win the Owen Hart Memorial Cup Tournament for the women's division and everything as well. That was cool. That was after the match, by the way, and that was match 6, by the way. And match 7, which was the main event, it was Darby Allin versus Andrade El Idolo in a coffin match. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Darby Allin went over because Darby Allin threw Andrade El Idolo in the coffin and shut the door. Well, after the match, as Darby Allin was celebrating his victory, Sting came out to help Darby Allin up, and they celebrated, and they got in the ring and celebrated, Sting and Darby Allin did. And then the Hardys, which are Matt and Jeff Hardy, came out on the stage and done the delete gesture and then applauded Darby Allin for his victory and everything. And so a stare down between the Hardys, which are Matt and Jeff Hardy, Sting and Darby Allin, ensued and everything. That was cool. That was match 7 in the main event, by the way, and that was after the match, by the way. Now, besides the matches, Wardlow arrived in the building, and as soon as Wardlow got in the building, the security guards cornered Wardlow, and then Mark Sterling appeared and informed Wardlow. Mark Sterling said, you know, Wardlow? Mark Sterling was saying, Wardlow, I have a message I have to relay to you. I have a message for you from MJF. And it clearly says, Wardlow, you will every time you enter this arena, you will have to be handcuffed by security, and you will have to be handcuffed and be escorted by security at all times. And if you want to change into your closet, or if you want to go to your closet or change in the ring, that's totally up to you. So and here also, here's a message from MJF. Eat shit, pig. And Wardlow, when Mark Sterling was talking, Wardlow was like, "That sounds good, Mark." You know, when Mark Sterling relayed the message, and then when Mark Sterling relayed from MJF saying "Eat shit, pig," Wardlow said "Oink oink, bitch," and then Mark Sterling left, and then Wardlow said, "Let's go, boys," and then Wardlow asked the security guards to get his bags for him and everything, and so the security guards escorted Wardlow to the locker room and everything. That was cool. The Undisputed Elite, which are Adam Cole, Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson, Kyle O'Reilly, and Bobby Fish cut a promo, but Brandon Cutler was the cameraman as usual. But anyways, the Undisputed Elite, which are Adam Cole, Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson, Kyle O'Reilly, and Bobby Fish cut a promo. Well, Kyle O'Reilly was talking about how him and Bobby Fish lost to the Jurassic Express, which are Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, and how the Young Bucks which are Matt and Nick Jackson, lost to FTR, which are Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler. And then talked about how Adam Cole was lost to Hangman Page twice. And then talked about how just because they've had losses doesn't mean they have to stay there forever, and they need to be more dominant and rack up wins and everything. And then Adam Cole was talking about how Adam Cole was talking about the same thing and was saying that, how about this? The 5 of us, we become a dominant team again, and we issue an open challenge to 5 other men on the AEW roster. And then Adam Cole was talking about how he had to make the announcement, had to go out and make a big announcement and everything as well. Well, Adam Cole left, and the Young Bucks, which are Matt and Nick Jackson, and Red Dragon, which are Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish, were backstage looking on and everything. That was cool. AEW aired a vignette of Sanjay Dutt. AEW aired a vignette. Wait. AEW aired a video package of the ongoing feud between Samoa Joe and Jay Lethal. That was cool. Jade Cargill, Mark Sterling, Red Velvet, and Kiera Hogan cut a promo, and after a video package from Marina Shafir, well, Red Velvet and Kiera Hogan called Marina Shafir boring and everything, and then Mark Sterling made an announcement that Jade Cargill is defending the TBS Women's title against Marina Shafir Friday night on AEW Rampage. Well, Jade Cargill was saying, "Shut up, Mark, because I'm not at all worried about Marina Shafir, because Marina Shafir, just like all the others, will end up falling victim to me, and she'll be number 30 on the list. Because Marina Shafir, she calls herself the problem solver. The problem? Well, I'm the problem solver. And everything." That was cool. Oh yeah, I forgot. Tony Chavanni introduced Tony Khan. Well, Tony Khan came out, and Tony Khan thanked the crowd of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and everything. And then Tony Khan introduced the president of New Japan Pro Wrestling, which is Takami Obari. So Takami Obari came out, and Tony Khan and Takami Obari were getting ready to make a big announcement, but Adam Cole appeared on the Titantron, and Adam Cole was saying, "Now, before you both start talking, I'm going to be the one to make this announcement. And the huge announcement that we're going to announce, June 26th, AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling will be having a super show called The Forbidden Door. Not only that, but I will be facing Tomohiro Ishii Friday night on AEW on Rampage in an Owen Hart Memorial Cup Tournament qualifying match in the men's division." Now, allow me to introduce to you my friend Jay White. Well, Jay White came out, and Jay White took the microphone from Tony Khan, and Jay White was talking about how this is not about AEW, this is not about New Japan Pro Wrestling. This is about the Undisputed Elite and the Bullet Club. So at the AEW New Japan Pro Wrestling Forbidden Door show, be ready, Undisputed Elite, because the Bullet Club are going to reign supreme, and we're going to dominate like we always have, and everything. That was cool. Eddie Kingston cut a promo talking about how he was going to whoop Daniel Garcia's ass on Friday night on AEW Rampage, and how the Jericho Appreciation Society, which are Chris Jericho, Jake Hager, Matt Menard, and Angelo Parker, and Proud and Powerful, which are Santana and Ortiz, are barred from ringside. And Eddie Kingston was talking about how the beating he's going to give Daniel Garcia is going to be reserved for Chris Jericho and everything as well. That was cool. Alex Marvez interviewed MJF and Sean Spears. Well, Alex Marvez brought up saying that the Butcher couldn't get the job done against Wardlow tonight. Well, MJF got all pissed off and was about ready to strike Alex Marvez, but Sean Spears got MJF to calm down, so MJF calmed down, and MJF said, Yeah, Marvez, you're right, old man. The Butcher didn't get the job done. But that doesn't matter. I'm loaded with money. And, I am a snake. And people often ask me, why are you so proud of yourself for being a snake? MJF was continuing to talk about it and everything, and then MJF said, isn't that right, Jake the Snake? Well, Jake the Snake Roberts appeared and took the money from MJF, and Jake the Snake Roberts was saying, I love money. And MJF, since you gave me that money, I'm going to make sure Lance Archer does some damage on Wardlow, and Wardlow never comes back ever again. And Jake the Snake Roberts was talking shit about Wardlow and everything as well, and then Lance Archer came along, and Lance Archer knocked the money out of Jake the Snake Roberts' hands, and Lance Archer was saying, I don't give a damn about the money, because next week I'm going to do what I always say I'm going to do, and I'm going to prove that I am the Murder Hawk Monster, Lance Archer, and because everybody dies. And then MJF and Sean Spears were looking on and everything, and Lance Archer was going crazy, and Jake the Snake Roberts was on the side and everything. That was cool. Tony Schiavone interviewed Frankie Kazarian, and Tony Schiavone brought up Alex Marvez interviewing MJF and Sean Spears, and then Lance Archer and Jake the Snake Roberts appear, and that was cool too. I think I already said that, but I just said that just in case I forgot. Tony Schiavone interviewed Frankie Kazarian. Well, Tony Schiavone brought up to Frankie Kazarian that he's got some wins racked up and everything, and talked about how Frankie Kazarian is getting a shot at the AEW TNT title and everything. Well, Frankie Kazarian was getting ready to talk, but Scorpio Sky came along, and Scorpio Sky was saying, Frankie, 5 years ago, I came into this business. You have helped me along the way, and we formed SCU. And I've always came to you for favors. And you've helped me throughout my career. But there's one more favor I gotta ask you. And what Frankie Kazarian was saying, what kind of favor do you need, Scorp? Scorpio Sky said, well, I want my I am going to go out there and I'm going to challenge Sammy Guevara to a rematch for the AEW TNT title. So once I get the AEW TNT title back, you're going to be the first one to get a title shot. and I'll make sure of that. Frankie Kazarian was saying, all right, Scorp, always got your back. And then Frankie Kazarian and Scorpio Sky shook hands and hugged, and then Scorpio Sky left, and Frankie Kazarian was looking on pissed off and everything. That was cool. Sammy Guevara and Ty Conti were out in the ring, and Sammy Guevara was talking about how he loved what he was doing, and how he appreciates the fans who cheer him, and he don't like the fans that boo him, and how they were jealous because he has a hotter girlfriend than others, and talked about how he was happy to be how he was happy to be a 3-time AEW TNT champion and everything. And then as Sammy Guevara kept talking and making out with Ty Conti and everything, Dan Lambert and Men of the Year, which are Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page, came out, and Scorpio Sky demanded a rematch against Sammy Guevara for the AEW TNT title and everything. And then Ethan Page was talking about how everyone hated Sammy Guevara, and how him and Scorpio Sky planned to kick Sammy Guevara's ass right here, right now, but Lieutenant Dan Lambert instructed that tonight is about business, so if it wasn't for Dan Lambert, Scorpio Sky and I would come in there and kick your ass, Sammy. And Ethan Page said, Dan, you have anything to say? Dan Lambert said, Dan Lambert said, week in and week out, when we have to see you two in this ring, or even hear you both talk, it makes me sick. It's like two high schoolers in that ring making out with their tongues in each other's mouths. But I'm going to say this right now. Scorpio Sky wants his rematch. And damn it, I'm going to make sure he gets it, because if not, if you don't give Scorpio Sky his rematch, then I'm sending Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page down to the ring to kick your ass. And Sammy Guevara was saying, all right, Dan, you're going to get what you want, because, actually, Sammy Guevara said, Sammy Guevara was talking shit towards Dan Lambert and Men of the Year, and then Sammy Guevara was saying, Scorpio, I tell you what, if you let Ty Conti and I have a mixed tag team match, then I will give you a shot at the AEW TNT title. Then Dan Lambert said, that's a deal. And then Sammy Guevara was saying, all right, see you then, bitch. And then Sammy Guevara and Ty Conti were making out, and Dan Lambert and Men of the Year, which are, after Sammy Guevara said, well, see you then, bitch, Sammy Guevara and Ty Conti were making out in the ring, while Dan Lambert and Men of the Year, which are Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page, looked on and everything, which that was cool. The House of Black, which are Malachi Black, Brody King, and Buddy Matthews, cut a promo, and Brody King was talking about how the House of Black have been unstoppable and how they're evil and everything, and Buddy Matthews that was Brody King talking about that, by the way. Well, Buddy Matthews was talking about how the House of Black had to keep changing. Well, the House of Black had to make changes and everything as well, and then Malachi Black was talking about how him, Brody King, and Buddy Matthews, which are the House of Black, are going to continue to dominate and everything as well. That was cool. Now, besides all that, Jim Ross, Now, besides all that, Jim Ross, Tony Schiavone, and Excalibur done comment. Besides all that, Jim Ross, Tony Schiavone, and Excalibur done commentary throughout the whole show. They done awesome as usual. And William Regal done guest commentary along with Jim Ross, Tony Schiavone, and Excalibur during the match between the Blackpool Combat Club versus Dante Martin, Brock Anderson, and Lee Moriarty. William Regal done great on guest commentary. The referees for the event were Rick Knox, Paul Turner, Bryce Remsburg, Stephon Smith, and Aubrey Edwards. Okay. Paul Turner refereed the match between CM Punk versus Dustin Rhodes. Stephon Smith refereed the match between the Blackpool Combat Club versus Dante Martin, Brock Anderson, and Lee Moriarty. Rick Knox refereed the match between Wardlow versus The Butcher. Aubrey Edwards refereed the match between Kyle O'Reilly versus Jungle Boy in an Owen Hart Memorial Cup tournament qualifying match in the men's division. Bryce Remsburg refereed the match between Hook versus Anthony Henry. Paul Turner refereed the match between Britt Baker versus Danielle Camilla in an Owen Hart Memorial Cup tournament qualifying match in the women's division. And Rick Knox and Bryce Remsburg refereed the match between Darby Allin versus Andrade El Idolo in a coffin match. So all the referees done awesome as usual. Now, the match card for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite next week that's been announced so far, it's going to be it's going to be the Undisputed Elite, which are Adam Cole, Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson, and wait a minute. Wait just a minute. Wait a minute. The match card for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite next week that's been announced so far. It's going to be the Undisputed Elite, which are Adam Cole, Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson, Kyle O'Reilly, and Bobby Fish versus Dante Martin, the Nightmare Family, which are Brock Anderson and Lee Johnson, and the Varsity Blondes, which are Brian Pillman Jr. and Griff Garrison, Wardlow versus, wait a minute, Lance Archer versus Wardlow. Wait a minute, hold on. The match card that's been announced for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite next week, that's been announced so far, it's going to be the Undisputed Elite, which are Adam Cole, Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson, Kyle O'Reilly, and Bobby Fish versus Dante Martin, the Nightmare Family, which are Brock Anderson and Lee Johnson, and the Varsity Blondes, which are Brian Pillman Jr. and Griff Garrison, Lance Archer versus Wardlow, Dax Harwood versus Cash Wheeler in an Owen Hart Memorial Cup Tournament qualifying match in the men's division. Excuse me, hold on. Sorry, excuse me. Hold on, excuse me. I'm so sorry. Excuse me for a minute. Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies. Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Sorry, I get like this sometimes. Oh, my apologies, everyone. The match card that's been announced for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite Wednesday night so far. Next week, wait a minute. The match card that's been announced for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite next week so far, it's going to be Sammy Guevara versus Scorpio Sky in a ladder match for the AEW TNT title. The Undisputed Elite, which are Adam Cole, Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson, Kyle O'Reilly, and Bobby Fish versus Dante Martin. The Nightmare Family, which are Brock Anderson and Lee Johnson, and the Varsity Blondes, which are Brian Pillman Jr. and Griff Garrison. Lance Archer versus Wardlow, and Dax Harwood versus Cash Wheeler in an Owen Hart Memorial Cup Tournament qualifying match in the men's division. So the match card that's been announced for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite next week looks like it's going to be awesome. I can't wait to see it. I'm looking forward to it. And the match card that's been announced for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Rampage tomorrow night, it's going to be Jade Cargill versus Marina Shafir for the TBS Women's title, Eddie Kingston versus Daniel Garcia, and the stipulation to that match is the Jericho Appreciation Society, which are Chris Jericho, Jake Hager, Matt Menard, and Angelo Parker, and Proud and Powerful, which are Santana and Ortiz, are barred from ringside. and Adam Cole versus Tomohiro Ishii in an Owen Hart Memorial Cup Tournament qualifying match in the men's division. So the match card for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Rampage that's been announced so far looks like it's going to be awesome. I can't wait to see it. I'm looking forward to it. But anyway, I just wanted to come on here for a while and give my review for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite from last night, which was April 20th, 2022. Like I said, it was awesome from start to finish. And with that being said, my name is Austin Honecker, and I will catch your ass down the road. Peace out.